Test. Okay. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Newton South High School in Newton, Massachusetts. Here to bring you some Division I girls soccer postseason action. We are now in the Elite Eight, the quarterfinals. And we're back. Okay, so top-seeded Hingham High is the team that awaits the winner of this one in the state semifinals, the Final Four. So for right now, let's take a look at the rosters for these two teams. They warm up for what has been a delayed start on multiple levels. It was originally scheduled to start at 5, got moved back to 7 p.m. due to concerns about the weather, and now it's going to be a little later than 7 o'clock. According to the scoreboard clock, we're about 17 and a half minutes out from starting this contest. So for right now, let's take a look at the rosters for these two teams here today. We'll start off talking about the hosts, the 5th-seeded Newton South High Lions. Going in order of jersey number, first off, we have a sophomore goalkeeper, number 1, Amanda Cosgrove. Next up, a junior midfielder, number 2, Luca Marceau. A junior forward, number 3, Nicole Tandanitsky. A sophomore midi and defender, number 4, Sienna Massoud. A junior forward, number 5, Tess Fitzgerald. A junior defender, number 6, Lily Paltrowitz. A senior forward, number 7, Izzy Lanzillo. A junior midi, number 8, Jessie Lee. A sophomore forward, number 9, Maddie Lewis. A junior midi, number 10, Bria Abiadi. A senior defender and co-captain, number 11, Tess Ertel. Forgot to mention earlier that Izzy Lanzillo is also a senior co-captain. A junior defender, number 12, Amelia Everett. A junior midi, number 13, Sarah Way. A senior midi, number 14, Angela Perry. A junior midi, number 16, Amanda Chang. A sophomore defender, number 17, Haley Smith. A junior forward, number 18, Jilly McLeod. A junior defender, number 19, Katie Lynn. A junior forward, number 20, Michaela Weldon. A senior goalkeeper, number 21, Jesse Traxler. A sophomore defender, number 22, Grace Sousa. A senior defender and co-captain, number 23, Frankie Toro. A junior midi and defender, number 24, Maddie Genser. A freshman midi, number 25, Layla Confer. And lastly, a sophomore defender, number 26, Nadia Mustafa. Head coach of the Newton South High girls soccer team is Doug McCarthy, with assistant coaches. There's the roster for the home team, the 5th-seeded Newton South High Lions. Now we turn our attention over to the visitors, the 13th-seeded Brookline. In order of jersey number, starting off, we have a freshman, number 1, Vilena Chernichev. A senior, Leslie. A senior co-captain, number 4, Zoe Fagnan. A senior, number 5, Ansley. A junior, number 6, Sarah Gonzalez. A senior co-captain, Mila Seifert. A junior, number 8, Sari Frankel. 9, Hannah Whited. So far in the postseason, 4.5. A sophomore, number 10, Amra Ukamadu. A junior, number 11, Madeline Moore. A junior, number 12, Celia Marinus. A junior, number 13, Gianna Pentland. A senior, number 14, Kellen McNamara. A junior, number 15, Cecilia Wager. A senior, number 16, Kendall Freeze. A senior, number 17, Nilufar Dadgar. A freshman, number 18, Anna Leshley. A freshman, number 19, Sydney Freeze. A senior, number 20, Liv Ernst. A junior, number 22, Eleanor Bergstein. And junior, number 27, Levy. And now the goalkeepers for Brookline, a junior, Phoebe Shea. A junior, Talia Thompson. And a senior co-captain, Juliana Anastopoulos. Head coach of the Brookline High girls soccer team is Rob Sprague, with assistant coaches Ben Peters, Andrew Sell, and James Moradian. My apologies to those of you watching the stream. Seems like the internet connection is a little bit less than ideal. Looks like you guys might be about 30 seconds behind me. Hopefully it doesn't get too egregiously bad, but if it does, I am recording this as well, and I'll be able to post the recording later without all the buffering and stuff. But for right now, if you are enjoying the broadcast, if everything's going great, be sure to hit that like button. I also encourage you to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. And, hey, engage in the live chat. I highly encourage fan interaction here. You know, let me know, you know, if you want to, you know, give some good words to your favorite players, you know, say hello to the other people watching the stream, or if you want to tell me something you want me to do differently, if I'm pronouncing someone's name wrong, if there's something I'm neglecting to mention, you know, I am always open to getting extra information from the viewers. A little less than 10 minutes out now. So as I said before, Newton South has been very dominant in their playoff runs so far. In their 2 postseason games to date, they are outscoring their opponents 9-1. Conversely, Brookline has yet to allow a goal this postseason. They've outscored their opponents 4-0 through the 2 games, averaging 2 goals a game. Brookline, of course, a strong defensive team throughout the season. Only 2 games did they allow goals at all. Those, of course, being their 2 losses, 2-0 to Natick on September 28th and 2-1 on October 21st. Those mark the only blemishes on an otherwise perfect defensive season for the Warriors. So it's a top flight offense against a top flight defense, you might say. And we'll see which one comes out on top. We're about 8 minutes out. Once again, Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. We'll be back at the start of this ball game. Stay tuned. Yes, sir.
What is the link? Did it change? Wondering because I'm getting some friends saying they
They can't find it.
Debbie sent out. This is at
Yep.
2 o'clock this afternoon.
Yep, that's
Oh, we're good. All right, I'll send out one more time. Thank you.
No problem.
Did you do the boys' game today?
No.
Stay away from the video. The audio.
Looks like we got our first action in the live chat tonight from John Pentland. Thanks for announcing the game. Go Gianna. Well, John, I'm happy to be here, happy to be doing it. And of course, best of luck to Gianna Pentland. Of course, she recorded an assist in Brookline's win over Franklin, assisted the first goal scored by Eleanor Bergstein late in the second half, or midway through the second half, I should say. But I got to say, she also had a lot of chances to score and was just unlucky on so many of them. In the concept of a player being due for a goal, Gianna's certainly up there amongst those who are due. I mean, last game I said Amra Ukamadu was due for a score, and she ended up coming up with the dagger in stoppage time to deliver the 2-0 victory over Franklin. Teams have finished huddling up. They're coming out onto the field. I don't know if we're getting anything from the PA or if we're just going to get started. As you probably saw from the scoreboard clock, just over a minute is left on that pregame clock. Should make for a good one. Brookline hoping to send both of their soccer teams to the Final Four. The 9th-seeded Brookline High, the 8th. No, I was correct the first time. The 9th-seeded Brookline High boys soccer team delivered a win over, I believe, 17th-seeded St. John's earlier this afternoon in a game that was forced into overtime. They went into extra play, tied at 1 apiece, and it was sophomore Eamon Bochelle who came through with the header goal in OT to send the Warrior boys to the semifinals. And now the Warrior ladies hoping to deliver a similar result here against their second straight higher-seeded opponent. Again, hopefully the stream health will improve. Let me know in the live chat if this is becoming really problematic. It'll help me to know whether or not I should post the recorded version later. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think there's much else I can do at this stage to improve the performance of the stream. Sometimes it's just a matter of what kind of reception you get in an area. But for now, the pregame clock reads 000, and so we're just waiting to get this one underway. And there's the PA announcer.
We congratulate all players and coaches for a great season. We ask that you join us in promoting character and sportsmanship in high school athletics. The ideals of good sportsmanship, ethical behavior, and integrity should permeate all interscholastic athletics in our community. In perception and practice, good sportsmanship shall be defined as those qualities of behavior that are characterized by generosity and genuine concern for others. Our field
Starting to feel some wind. Looks like we got some light mist coming down here at Newton South.
First, for the visiting Brookline High School Warriors, number 1, Valena Chernev.
Introducing the starting lineups first for Brookline. They have number 1, Vilena Chernichev. Next up, number 3, Hope Leshley. After that, number 4, Zoe Fagnan. Followed by number 5, Ansley Washburn. After that, number 6, Sarah Gonzalez. Then number 7, Mila Seifert. Oh, I think they're just introducing the entire roster. Here comes number 8, Sari Frankel. And number 9, Hannah Whited. Number 10, Amra Ukamadou. Number 11, Maddie Moore. Number 12, Celia Marinus, or Moranis, I don't know. Number 13, Gianna Pentland. Once again, if I'm pronouncing anyone's names wrong, please let me know in the live chat. Number 14 is Kellen McNamara. Number 15 is Cecilia Wager. 16 is Kendall Freeze.
Number 16, Kendall Freeze. Number 17, Nilu Dadgar.
Number 17, Nilufar Dadgar.
Number 18, Anna Leshley.
18, Anna Leshley.
Number 20, Liv Ernst.
Number 19, Sydney Freeze. And then number 20, Liv Ernst. On the roster, number 21 is Phoebe Shea. Number 22, Eleanor Bergstein.
23, Juliana Anastopoulos.
Number 23, Juliana Anastopoulos. 24, Talia Thompson.
Alexandra Levy.
And number 27, Alex Levy.
High school head coach is Mr. Rob Sprague.
And they introduced the head coach, Rob Sprague. So we're doing the entire roster for introductions right now. And now they introduce the Newton South roster, starting with number 1, Amanda Cosgrove. Number 2, Luca Marceau. Number 3, Nicole Tandanitsky. Number 4, Sienna Massoud. Number 5, Tess Fitzgerald. Number 6, Lily Paltrowitz. Number 7, Izzy Lanzillo. Number 8, Jessie Lee. Number 9, Maddie Lewis. Number 10, Bria Abiati. Number 11, Tess Ertel. Number 12, Amelia Everett. Number 13, Sarah Way. Number 14, Angela Perry. Number 16, Amanda Chang. Number 17, Haley Smith. Number 18, Jilly McLeod. Number 19, Katie Lynn. Number 20, Michaela Weldon. Number 21, Jesse Traxler. Number 22, Grace Sousa. Number 23, Frankie Toro. Number 24, Maddie Genser. Number 25, Layla Confer. And number 26, Nadia Mustafa. And the head coach, Doug McCarthy. So that's the roster for the hosting Newton South High Lions.
At this time, we invite you to stand for the national anthem.
And now we have the national anthem.
Please respect the decisions of those who choose not to stand.
And there was the national anthem as it's starting to come down out here in Newton. The rain is back and back with a vengeance. Starting to blow into here in the press box thanks to the high winds. I'm going to do the best I can to keep all my equipment safe while shooting out of a window. If it gets too bad, I might have to close the window and shoot through a pane of glass. You know, we'll see what happens. Playing this one by ear, as it were. Something about Brookline High girls soccer playing in really bad weather this year. As those who have followed my streams probably remember the senior day game. Whoa, there's a gust. The senior day game that had to be played in a huge storm, featuring lots of rain, high winds, a little bit of hail, and one broadcaster's tent and equipment blown over in the final minutes. The starters coming out now for Newton South. It looks like they're going to be starting number 1, Amanda Cosgrove, a sophomore, in net for them today. Meanwhile, for Brookline, they'll be sticking with all reliable senior co-captain Juliana Anastopoulos as their netminder. As their starters come out, among them we can see Anna Leshley, Eleanor Bergstein. I think I saw Vilena Chernichev in there. Most likely, co-captains Hope Leshley and Zoe Fagnan are in there as well. They've been pretty big mainstays in the lineup, as is Amra Ukamadu. A lot of the usual suspects, I imagine, we can expect in the starting lineup for the Warriors today. 40 minutes on the clock. The wind rages mercilessly as the precipitation falls. Which team will match the rain and fall at the end of this one, and which one will match the wind and soar onto the Final Four? We'll have that answer for you in approximately an hour and a half. Brookline getting the opening possession. Amra Ukamadu getting ready to kick us underway. Pass goes back to Hope Leshley. Here we go. Leshley's kick is deflected. Downed by Ansley Washburn. Kicked back and booted ahead and deflected out of bounds. That kick coming off the foot of Zoe Fagnan. Fagnan now throwing it in off the head of Ukamadu. Ukamadu off her own head again, and now off the head of Chernichev. Now Bergstein kick deflected, and it looks like it's going to be taken away. No, Ukamadu swoops in. Amra Ukamadu making things exciting early. Centering kick is deflected away. Bergstein trying to swoop in. It's deflected away, and ultimately kicked out of bounds by the Newton South defense. I'm presently holding a coat over my equipment. I might not be able to identify the Newton South players that well right now unless the weather lets up. But right now the throw-in goes to Bergstein. Bergstein couldn't fight through that many defenders. Fagnan heads it back. Deflected ahead by Hope Leshley, but ultimately kicked away. Brookline still bringing the pressure, but now Newton South running on the counterattack. They lose control of it, and it goes out of bounds. Another throw-in for the Warriors. Fagnan throws it in. Goes over the head of Bergstein, off the head, kicked ahead by Bergstein, deflection, another deflection. Newton South trying to take it back, but forcing the issue was Vilena Chernichev. Brookline ball still. Fagnan another throw-in, off the head and out of bounds. Throw-in again, over everyone's heads. Trying to force it. Lost out of bounds. This will be a corner kick. Within the first, or no, it's a goal kick. My mistake on the call there. Brookline almost drew a corner kick within the first 2 minutes of play. Instead, this will be Cosgrove kicking this one away. Trying to keep that ball properly placed in this wind must be just a little bit tough, as Cosgrove boots a short liner, skips along, scrumming for it around midfield, controlled by the Lions. Nice pass ahead. but a lot of defensive pressure. Now they're trying to come around the far side, starting to gain the edge, but too many defenders. Ball is stolen away. Passed upfield to Anna Leshley. Leshley passes to the middle to Chernychev. Swung over for, I believe, Washburn, but missed the mark there. Intercepted. But now this pass is intercepted by Cecilia Wager, and she boots this one deep. That's going to skip all the way to the goalie and taken easily by Cosgrove. You can see the idea there, just a little too much mustard on that kick. As excuse me, Cosgrove punts that one. It's being scrummed for, and it looks like we got a penalty call against Brookline. There's the signal. Here comes the free kick. Skips past everybody and scooped up easily by Juliana Anastopoulos. Anastopoulos punts this one far and deep. Ukamadou is trying to race for it. She's trying to outpace 3 defenders. Ukamadou kind of got there first, kicked, and they call goal kick. Ukamadou was hoping for the favorable deflection there, but didn't get it. Early on in this one, Brookline has been providing most of the offensive pressure, but the wind, again, giving Cosgrove some struggles, keeping the ball set for these goal kicks. But while Brookline has the advantage early, it seems, you can't underestimate the scoring power of Newton South. There's a reason they've scored 9 goals through 2 playoff games. As this one is knocked out of bounds by Leshley, it'll be a throw-in for Newton South. Throw in, I think that one caught the wind and just flew out of bounds on its own. No one touched it, and so Brookline just gets to take it back. This one bounces off the head of Newton South's number 4, and so it'll be another throw in for Brookline. Fagnan throws this one in, downed by Ukamadou. Backing down, tries to go around, but lost control of it out of bounds. Throw in, off ahead, taken by number 9, kicked into open space, but right to Sydney Freeze, who taps it ahead. Fagnan takes it, pass back to Cecilia Wager. Wager lines up, her kick is deflected, but Anna Leshley is there to head it ahead, but kicked back by Newton South, deflected by Washburn, but then collected by, I believe, number 24. That one is booted away pretty quick. Newton South trying to recover and get the clear, but battling against Madeline Moore along the far side, and Moore kicks it out of bounds. Throw in here. Some deflections, and I think they called a penalty on Brookline for a push from behind. A free kick now for the Lions. Wind and the rain starting to let up a little bit. We might have a bit of a clear space here. Well, at least the rain's letting up. I don't know so much about the wind. This free kick booted towards the box. Deflects back out, and Moore boots this one. Skipping past, and they're off to the races again. The Newton South back gets there first and boots it out of bounds. Smart play. I think that was number 4 who made that play, as Fagnan throws this one into Ukamadou, who somehow keeps it in bounds or not. Or no, it's booted out of bounds by Newton South. So Ukamadou did manage to keep that one in bounds. And I don't think that defender I mentioned before was number 4, but a bit hard to tell in this weather. As this throw-in is taken by Chernychev, Fagnan boots it into the air. A collision, and they call it against Brookline. Anna Leshley was trying to get position in the box to deflect that ball and just came a little too hard. And penalty is called. Free kick for the Lions. This one is booted high. Off ahead and downed by number 24. Fights through a couple defenders. Number 24 bringing it up the near side. Pass deflected by Wager. Taken by Hope Leshley. Long pass ahead finds Ukamadou. Ukamadu dribbling. She's got some space to work, taking off, battling a midi, and no call as she wrestles it away, but it's deflected. Now they're scrumming for it, and it looks like Newton South is going to take it. Pass ahead to number 2. Number 2's kick is deflected and stolen by Hope Leshley. Leshley tries to tap it ahead, but nobody there. Stolen by number 2. Number 2, pass ahead, spins out. One player gets tripped up, and they call the penalty. Some slick moves by Newton South's number 2, Luca Marceau. This free kick looks like it's going to be coming from number 26, Nadia Mustafa. Mustafa sends it towards the box, and it curves so far, curves so far that Anastopoulos, the only one who can take it. Anastopoulos boots it across midfield, and this one's kicked right back. It's chased down by Chernychev. Chernychev dribbling along the far side. Pass ahead to Anna Leshley. Leshley trying to keep control of it, gets pushed from behind. That's either out of bounds or a penalty call. You can hear the raucous student sections from both squads cheering back and forth at each other as Cecilia Wager lines up for this free kick for Brookline. This one booted towards the box, dangerous, deflected, and kicked away. That looks like it's going to roll out of bounds. But they got the favorable deflection. Newton South takes the ball. Throw in. Down the far side, they're trying to clear it. Big kick here. Finds a teammate, but immediately swarmed by multiple defenders. She tries to escape. And now that pass deflected away. Now booted, but deflected. Brookline providing all kinds of forward pressure as Newton South finally boots one high in the air off the head of Wager. And now a scrum for it, taken by Bergstein. Bergstein gets tripped up. No call. They say she got ball. Now a pass aimed at Marceau. Marceau passes ahead. Now trying to bring it down the far side was number 4, who loses her footing after a collision with Leshley, and the ball is taken away by Brookline. Wager now dribbling in space. Wager launches a kick, finds Anna Leshley. Leshley dribbling, trying to find some space, passes back. Now a pass forward off the mark, kicked away, and kicked up the line and out of bounds. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's number 23, Frankie Toro, there on the far side. th minute here, no score between 13th seeded Brookline and 5th seeded Newton South. Throw in for Brookline down the far side is deflected, goes all the way back to the thrower. Now a pass ahead, I think that's Chernychev trying to dribble with it, hits a wall though. Now Newton South trying to fight ahead, stolen back by Chernychev, pass back to Fagnan. Fagnan dribbling with some space to work. Still dribbling, cutting towards the middle. Now a lefty kick ahead is booted away. Skips past a number of players. Leshley tried to pass it, but deflected away. Now being chased down by Maddie Moore and kicked up the line. Stays in bounds. Anna Leshley had it for a second and lost it out of bounds. This ball goes to Newton South. Throw in here, off ahead, downed by Anna Leshley, but she gets the favorable deflection out of bounds. This will be Brookline ball. Throw in from Moore, goes off ahead, goes back all the way back to Sydney Freeze. Freeze, leading pass, skips past Ukamadu, kicked back by the defense. Newton South operating on the clear, and they've now got it to Marceau with some space to work, but her pass is miscommunicated, stolen away by Hope Leshley. Leshley dribbling, now passes over to Chernychev. Chernychev working it ahead, pass for Ukamadu, off the mark, deflected and kicked away. Loose ball picked up by the Lions. Pass back down the near side now, passed ahead to Marceau. Marceau sends a pass, finds her target, This is number 24, Maddie Genser, who sends it ahead to Marceau. Marceau trying to battle, kicks it ahead. Nobody there except Cecilia Wager. Wager just takes it now, launches it up the near side, skipping along and booted out of bounds by the Lions defense. Throw in from Fagnin is deflected out of bounds. This one now goes to the Lions. Another throw in to Marceau, taps it back to number 4. Now back ahead to Marceau. Marceau passes it right back to Sienna Massoud. Massoud sends it all the way down to the far side, and it's deflected out of bounds. They say last touched by Moore. Throw in now for South. As we got a substitution coming in, replacing Luca Marceau. Trying to read the number. I think it's 5 as this throw in. Not sure what happened there, but I think it's number 5, Tess Fitzgerald, who's just checked in for Newton South. Ball lost out of bounds, they say, off Brookline. Stays with Newton South. Throw in. And I think they just called a penalty on Brookline. This could be big for Newton South. A penalty just outside the box. It'll be an awkward angle, but if they can make this work, they could be first on the board. Critical juncture here early in the 15th minute. Can't see from here the jersey number of who's taking this free kick. But there's the signal. There's the kick. Anastopoulos juggled it. Oh, dangerous. And they managed to clear it, but it's kicked back in. Rolls past everybody. Oh, so dangerous, but they cleared it. That was so unbelievably dangerous. And yet, Brookline comes out unscathed. We remain scoreless. The kick goes all the way back to Cosgrove. And now Newton South trying to restart, but they lose the ball out of bounds. Throw in from Fagnin, downed by Bergstein, but she's swarmed. Taken away by Massoud, passed over to Genser. Genser's pass kicked away by Moore. Now it's going to skip all the way down to the far corner and is kicked out of bounds by Toro. Throw in for Brookline. As you can hear the fans chanting North is better. As it looks like Brookline did just manage to draw the corner kick. Savvy kick for a deflection from, I believe, Anna Leshley. And of course, the corner kick is her bread and butter. Most of her goals this season, and she's had many, most of them have come off her head. We'll see what happens here. Corner kick coming in. It's coming in high and too high over everyone. Wind might have carried that one. This is going to be a goal kick. That's the tough thing about the inclement weather here is stuff's going to fly every now and again, and it's going to fly out of your control. That can either be a benefit or a detriment depending on how lucky you are. And in this case, luck goes to Newton South as Cosgrove gets to launch a goal kick. Couple deflections now taken ahead by Newton South. Leading pass, potentially dangerous, but Moore boxes it out. Anastopoulos takes it and boots it away. Now off a deflection, Ukamadou heads it forward, but kicked away. Now taken by Chernychev, popped into the air, deflects again, kicked away, recovered again by Chernychev. Chernychev trying to fight through multiple defenders, but can't do it. This kick misses everybody now and is taken by Wager. Wager kicks it towards the middle, but stopped by, I believe that's number 5. No, that wasn't number 5. I think that's number 8 who kicked that one away as Maddie Moore kicks that one up the far side. So that was number 8, Jessie Lee. Trying to identify the Newton South players as I go, basically. 18th minute of play here in the first half. No score between Brookline and Newton South. This ball is kicked upfield, deflected. Bergstein can't get a foot on it, and it's going to be chased down by Tess Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald dribbling along, sends a pass ahead, hits her target, and now a fancy give and go for Fitzgerald. Ball deflected out of bounds, stays with Newton South. Newton South showing some fancy tricks there as the wind continues to gust. This ball lost out of bounds, stays with Newton South. This is Tess Ertel throwing it in for the Lions. Throw-in finds its target and trying to force her way through. A kick is deflected, no call, and it's booted out of bounds. That one was right on the line of the box. If that was a penalty call, that could have been disastrous for Brookline. Another throw-in for Ertel. This one hangs in the air and is immediately headed out by Wager. Another throw-in off the head of the Newton South player this time and lost out of bounds. Throw-in now for Fagnan. Off ahead, and it bounces right back and out of bounds, stays with Brookline. Another throw-in down the line, deflected by Ukamadu. They're trying to fight for it, but the fight is won by Newton South. Pass goes back to 17, popped into the air off the head of Jessie Lee, but swooping in and taking it is Hope Leshley. Hope Leshley turns around, whiffs on her kick, but it goes back to Chernychev, who passes it back to Sydney Freeze. Freeze passes ahead, looking for Anna Leshley. Leshley trying to work her way around her defender. She gets around. Anna Leshley now off to the races. Going towards the middle, lost control of the ball, and it's booted out of bounds. Ball stays with Brookline. Throw in, goes back to Leshley. Leshley, it's deflected and ultimately booted away by Newton South. Off the head of Hope Leshley, but right to a Newton South defender. Now I believe that was Washburn trying to get her foot on it, but again, Newton South trying to kick it away. Working down the far side now, cutting towards the middle. Weaving her way around. A pass finds its target, but deflects too far. Stolen away by Eleanor Bergstein. Bergstein trying to come around the near side. Lost out of bounds. No penalty call, but out of bounds Brookline ball. Fagnan, a quick throw-in, goes to Hope Leshley. Leshley has to tap it back to Wager. Wager kicks this one in the air. It deflects back. No call on the collision. Newton South resets. Pass over to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald up the near side. Kicks towards the middle. Finds Genser. Genser a pass. Deflected off of Moore. Now off the head of Wager. Chased down by, I believe, Lee. Pass to the far end. Trying to fight their way through. A couple deflections, and the ball is just rolling away, carrying with the wind. Fitzgerald takes this one. Fitzgerald trying to work her way along the near side. Hope Leshley having none of it. Hope Leshley using her superior physicality to wrestle that ball away, but it's taken right back by Newton South. Passed back over to Fitzgerald. Now Zoe Fagnan using her physicality to fight that ball away. Now a lifted pass. Goes to the center back, and Newton South resets. Trying to keep it in bounds. They lose it along the near sideline. Masood couldn't keep that pass in. Fagnan throws it in, taken by Ukamadu. Ukamadu trying to work around the sideline. Gets through one defender, but can't get through another. It's kicked back, goes to Bergstein. Bergstein kicks it towards the middle, deflected away. Loose ball is recovered by Chernychev. Passed back to Moore. Moore launches one. Too far away from everybody. That's going to be a goal kick. We got some subs coming in now for Brookline. Looks like they're replacing their forward line for the most part. Bergstein is staying in, however. Looks like we've got Liv Ernst, Gianna Pentland, and one more I can't quite see, but my guess is Mila Seifert. This one goes into the air off a head, off a couple of heads. Now kicked away. Now scrumming for it, and Newton South keeps control. Pass for Fitzgerald. Fagnan swoops in, takes it away. Pass over to Bergstein. Bergstein sends a pass ahead, off the mark from Pentland. And again, the Newton South defense takes it. That's number 11 who booted that one upfield. That's Ertel. Now this one thrown in, deflects off of, I believe, Fitzgerald and out of bounds. Now this throw in goes off ahead, downed and booted into the air by Ertel. Off ahead, taken by Wager, pass to Fagnan. Fagnan sends a pass through, deflects off a foot, stolen by Masood. Pass ahead, Fitzgerald couldn't fight her way through. Bergstein couldn't maintain control, but she deflects that pass. Fagnan swoops in and takes it. Fagnan couldn't fight her way through Genser. Pass back to Masood. Now this pass is deflected out of bounds by Hope Leshley. Ertel throws this one in, and it deflects off the body of Fagnan out of bounds. Another throw-in from Ertel. The defender falls down. There's no whistle. This is free and booted away by Wager. Fagnan is down. She looks a little shaken up, but she's walking it off. Ertel throws it back in, trying to fight around the defender. Centering kick deflects out. That's going to be a corner. Good efforts down the stretch by number 10, Bria Abiati. And now a corner kick for the home team here in the now the 25th minute we have just entered. Corner kick for South, their first of the game. No score so far. The kick towards the box, off a Brookline head and out. This one's tapped ahead, and it's being chased down. This is Pentland. Pentland trying to keep it in bounds, deflected out of bounds, Brookline ball. A hurried throw-in from Pentland, just booted away. Heads up defensive play by Newton South, as that almost got out of their hands. Now stolen back by Brookline. This is Hope Leshley sending a pass ahead to Pentland. Pass back to Chernychev. Chernychev dribbling with it. She's got some space. Now sending a pass through off the foot of Pentland, and it skips into the arms of Cosgrove. Had a couple of real scary chances for Newton South off some free kicks. As this pass is going to be taken away by Newton South, just poked away by a Wager. That could have been dangerous as Ernst dribbles with it. Can't force her way through. And now a retreating pass is going to be lost out of bounds. Big mistake by Newton South. Pass intended for Ertel. And it looks like we got a timeout called. Clock frozen at 14:42. Here in the first half. No score as of yet. Credit's got to be given to the back lines of both teams for the efforts they've put on early in this one. And we got a comment from Elizabeth Crane. Audio seems much better now. I'm happy to hear that. And it does look like my connection has improved. So definitely happy to see that the technology is working. I'm not sure if audio cut out at any point. But if there are any more technical difficulties, please let me know in the live chat. Rain's let up a little bit, so I can look at my computer screen now. I don't have to cover it up with like a coat or a tarp or anything. The wind still is blowing pretty harshly, but the rain seems to have let up just a smidge here. So no score. We are here in the 26th minute here in the first half at Newton South High School in Newton South, Massachusetts. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, happy to bring you live coverage of this MIAA Division I Girls Soccer Elite 8 contest between the visiting 13th seeded Brookline High Warriors and the hosting 5th seeded Newton South High Lions. Coming out of the timeout now. I believe this will be a throw-in for the Warriors, unless I'm mistaken. And indeed it will, as number 7, Mila Seifert, gets ready to throw this one in for Brookline. Throw-in goes down the line and lost out of bounds. Whatever the plan was there, it's safe to say it didn't go to plan. Not exactly how you want to start coming out of a timeout. Cosgrove, the goal kick. Popped into the air. Some weird deflections. Now taken by Chernychev. Chernychev, an attempted pass deflected away. Now being taken along by Newton South. This is Genser passing ahead to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald attempted touch pass. Booted away by Wager and out of bounds. Throw in here. Flurry of deflections, lost out of bounds, and they say Newton South ball. No, it's overridden. It's Brookline ball. Throw in here. Weird deflection, taken by Masood. Pass back, lost out of bounds. Ertel couldn't keep that one in as Bergstein now throws it in for Pentland. Off a couple heads. Some more deflections. Genser passes back to Ertel, now up the line for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald dribbling with it. Kicks it through the legs, finds a teammate, that's Abbiati. Abbiati fakes, but poked away by Ernst. Boxes her out, and Masood takes the ball. Masood passes ahead, off the mark and out of bounds. Throw in, quickly kicked. Finds the foot of Fitzgerald, poked away by Seifert, but recovered by Genser. Genser passes to nobody, out of bounds. Throw in from Seifert, deflected to Bergstein. Bergstein just boots it ahead, nobody there, and it's chased down by the Newton South defense. Pressure coming from all the way on the opposite end. Forced out of bounds, Brookline ball. Great pressure from the other side. Bit hard for me to see the jersey number of who that is, as that one's thrown in, and attempted kick from, I believe, Bergstein is deflected out of bounds. Now another throw-in coming. Deflects into the air. Couple of favorable deflections for Newton South, and now they work on the clear. This one's kicked ahead, finds Abbiati. Abbiati pulling back so her teammates can catch up. Slices this one into the air all the way down to the far side. Now a pass up the line, goes right to Freeze, taken by Newton South. Brookline playing cautious defensively and can't weave through the defender. Lost the ball, now Freeze kicks it up to Moore. Moore kicks it down the line. Booted back by South. Off ahead. Downed. I think this is Genser fighting with Hope Leshley for the ball. Genser gains a bit of an edge. Now passes it down the line. I think that's Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald trying to weave her way through against two defenders. Ball is lost out of bounds. Brookline ball. And no penalty called. As again, Hope Leshley just using her size to wrestle the ball away. Pentland kicks this one way upfield. This one's booted away. Fitzgerald passes. A bit of a give and go back to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald now sends it up the line for Abbiati. No offside call. Abbiati runs into Wager, and we got a penalty call. Very well executed leading pass by the Lions. And Wager really didn't have many other options defensively there. The wind chooses a time like now to blow in a big gust. This could be any kind of factor here in the 30th minute. Here comes the free kick. I think it's coming from Masood. This one booted towards the box. Deflects. Caught by Anastopoulos. Clutch play by Juliana Anastopoulos as this one skips past a defender. It's now a foot race to the ball, and it looks like it's just going to fly out of bounds. Anastopoulos had the wind at her back with that punt, and it showed. Another scary chance for Newton South, but again, bears no fruit. As now Eleanor Bergstein checks out in favor of number 16, Kendall Freeze. Cosgrove, the goal kick, off the head of Hope Leshley to the back line, deflected by Ernst. Pentland tried to pass it back, but broken up by, I believe, Jesse Lee. Now sent up the line. They're scrumming for it. Still scrumming for it. Newton South has got a leading pass. Again, no offside. Now they're scrumming for it along the far side. Lost out of bounds. Newton South ball. Just 9 minutes left here in the first half. We have no score. Newton South has had easily the scariest opportunities to score thus far. Again, looking on paper, this was a strong offensive unit against a strong defensive unit, and it's played out so far. Now, oh, this is not a throw-in. This is another free kick. Free kicks have been dangerous from the Lions. Free kick towards the box. Off ahead and well wide of everything as this one rolls out of bounds. Brookline ball. Again, the wind playing all kinds of wild card here as we got a hard collision and no penalty call. The refs swallowing their whistles. This is playoff soccer. Ertel, the throw-in, finds Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald has it wrestled away by Kendall Freeze. The kick goes to the middle, and it's chased down by, I think that's Sari Frankel. Indeed it is. Now booted upfield by Seifert, deflected back by Masood. Now downed by Hope Leshley. Leshley spins away from Genser and kicks it upfield, but deflected out of bounds. So nice to see Sari Frankel back out on the field. She missed the first couple of playoff games, but now she's back out there. She was a big part of the team's efforts as a strong midi throughout the season, as this throw-in just floats out of bounds. Frankel had a team-leading 5 assists in the regular season, so you know Brookline's happy to have her back. Seifert throws this one in, right off a defender, into the air, stays in bounds, now collected by Abbiati. Abbiati kicks it up the line, and now it's out of bounds. Quick throw-in is lost off the foot of Freeze. Throw-in is... they whistle to stop because of a substitution? I think. That was weird. Now this throw-in is downed and deflected out of bounds by Seifert. Another throw-in off the head of Fitzgerald. Leshley whiffs on the clearing kick. Abbiati takes it. Pass is deflected, but lost her balance. Leshley swoops in and kicks it away. Now going into open space. Race to the ball again, won by Newton South. And they send it up the far side. This kick now has Brookline working along the far side. A kick towards the middle. Skips past everybody right to Cosgrove. This one booted in the air, off the head of Leshley. Freeze tries to swoop in and take it, but Masood gets it. Pass to the far side, kicks ahead. Fitzgerald manages to boot it ahead. Abbiati takes it for a second, but then kicked away. Recovered by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald now sends a pass over to Genser. Genser bringing it up the near side, but too much defensive pressure, kicked away. Deflected back, kicked away again, but again taken by Masood. Now this kick deflected by Fitzgerald. Now Wager clears it out, finds a teammate upfield. That's Sarah Gonzalez now passing it over for, I believe, Sari Frankel. Frankel gets tripped up from behind. Or no, that's Chernychev, my mistake. Chernychev wrestles the ball back. Now she's working up the far side. Vilena Chernychev takes a kick, it's deflected and cleared out by Newton South. Now Newton South trying to fight their way through. Attempted pass is intercepted by Seifert. Seifert sends a pass ahead, finds a target. Now a pass lifted, favorable deflection. I think this actually might be Frankel chasing after it, not Gonzalez. But either way, it's out of bounds, Brookline ball. Less than 5 minutes left before the break. Still no score. Throw in here. It's booted away. Now booted back in. Deflection. Swooping in and taking that one is Hope Leshley. Leshley trying to fight her way through several defenders. Can't do it. It's booted away down to Fitzgerald on the near side. Fitzgerald now dribbling. Coming up the near sideline. Now launches a centering kick. Dangerous. Deflects away. Now booted up the line by, I believe, Moore. Either Moore or Fagnan, not sure. But either way, booted back, and now pass goes ahead to Frankel. Frankel lifts it up, trying to lead her teammates, but Ertel kicks it away. Now a bit of a loss of control, and it's wrestled away by Ernst. Ernst passes this one over. Now sent ahead. I believe this is Frankel. It is Frankel, but she lost the ball. And now Leshley takes it. Pass over for, I believe, Chernychev. Now a pass off the mark taken by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald dribbling with it. Pass is deflected and taken by Abbiati, but then cut off by Seifert, and now kicked out of bounds. And they're going to say Newton South ball. Substitution now for Newton South. Fitzgerald checks out. And we'll see who's checking in. I can't really read the jersey numbers from the front. They're too small. But the throw-in goes right to the new arrival. Trying to wrestle her way through. Wager can't do it, as Wager stands up and kicks that ball out of bounds. Throw in. And again, Wager pokes it out. 2.5 minutes left in the first half. We're about to enter stoppage time. Throw in, this time downed cleanly by Wager, and she slices that one high in the air. That's going to bounce out of bounds. So Newton South takes it back again. Another throw in, downed, but then swooping in and taking it from Abbiati is Kendall Freeze. The kick, however, goes into open space, taken back by Newton South. Passed back to Ertel. Now pass goes to Abbiati. Abbiati lifts it, but it goes right to Wager. Wager now kicks it upfield and off the hand of Pentland. Pentland gets knocked down after the play is whistled dead, but they're going to call that incidental. So now we're going to have a free kick for the Lions. I'm having trouble seeing the jersey number of who this is. Oh, that's number 26. That's Nadia Mustafa. Mustafa's kick heads towards the Brookline end. It's taken cleanly, but knocked away from Genser, recovered by Masood. Masood sends a pass to the far side. Now a dangerous chance, working along the edge. Now cutting back, dribbling towards the middle, pass deflected, almost recovered. They're still fighting for it, still scrumming for it. Shot misses wide. We are in stoppage time now as another dangerous chance for Newton South just misses the mark. I think that one went off the foot of number 7, Izzy Lanzillo. And now it's a goal kick for Anastopoulos. Her kick goes off the head, favorable bounce for Brookline, but it's taken by Mustafa, booted into the air. Now taken for a second, whiffed on the clearing kick, but it's recovered and booted away by Hope Leshley. Long kick goes out of bounds deep in Newton South territory. Ertel now with it, getting ready to throw in. Throw in. Deflected, but that's going to end the half. We are midway through here at Newton South High School in Newton, Massachusetts. No score thus far. Once again, my name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, happy to bring you live coverage of this MIAA Division I girls soccer quarterfinal. Both teams fighting here in the Elite Eight, as it were, to move on to the Final Four. Again, if you're enjoying the broadcast, be sure to hit that like button. I encourage you to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. Also, leave your comments in the live chat. Let me know what you're thinking. And other than that, we are at halftime. I'll be taking a brief break, but I'll be back. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan here on the campus of Newton South High School in Newton, Massachusetts for this MIAA Division I Girls Soccer Elite 8 contest between the hosting 5th-seeded Newton South High Lions and the visiting 13th-seeded Brookline High Warriors. I see I got a helpful note in the live chat from Richard Sell. Note to announcer, most calls by the referee are as a result of fouls, not penalties. Appreciate the correction on the terminology. You know, I cover a lot of different sports. I don't necessarily have 100% knowledge in everything, so I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'm not a proud man. I'm willing to take any corrections that folks want to throw at me in the live chat. Looks like the connection is a little faulty again, but not egregiously so. So here's hoping it gets a little better once we get underway. Little less, as you can see on the scoreboard clock, a little less than 30 seconds left on this halftime clock. And as you can also see from the scoreboard, we have no score between these two teams. Not entirely surprising, only 16 goals scored between these two teams all season. 12 of them against Newton South and 4 against Brookline. Like I said, Brookline's defense has been very strong this season. They've only allowed 4 goals, and they've shut out all but 2 of their opponents so far this season, those being Natick and Wellesley, both on the road. Fresh 40 minutes back on the clock, and the teams are huddling up ready to get out onto the field for the second half. After switching sides, Newton South will get the opening possession to start this one off. If you're Newton South, no doubt you want to set up more potential free kick situations, whether those be corners or fouls just outside the box, because a lot of their best chances to score so far have come from those free kicks. If you're Brookline, you want to generate more offense than you've been generating. Your defense is taking care of the job, but there have been some real close shaves. If you want to change this game, if you want to be able to reinforce your defense, you have to get on the board and you have to get that coveted first goal and first lead. Brookline was able to generate some chances in the first couple minutes of the first half, but their offense sort of slowed up a little bit after that. They'll be trying to get the tempo moving again. As, like I said, Newton South will have the opening possession. The wind is howling and we are underway. Pass goes up the near side. It was aimed at number 2, Luca Marceau, but missed the mark. And now Brookline takes over. That was deflected out by Maddie Genser, and now another throw-in for Brookline. This one skips all the way to Ukamadu. Amra Ukamadu now dribbling, weaving around one defender, moving forward, got some space, looking for a lane, sends a pass, past the defender, but her teammate wasn't quite there, and it had to be booted out of bounds. I believe that was Tess Ertel who kicked that one out for Newton South. Throw in now. Brookline gains the edge. Dangerous chance. Kick towards the middle is downed by Haley Smith, as that was a dangerous centering kick from Eleanor Bergstein. Now Newton South trying to clear it out. They get it all the way across midfield. It's going to be chased down by Sydney Freeze. Kicked all the way back to Juliana Anastopoulos. And then kicked ahead to Cecilia Wager. Wager boots this one high in the air. Now a foot race to the ball. Eleanor Bergstein gets there first but loses control. Regains it, but poked away by Ertel, and Ertel boots it up the field. Booted back by Wager. Takes a bit of a bounce. Now being chased after by Anna Leshley. She keeps it in bounds. Defense coming from behind her. She keeps dribbling. Fights her way through a defender. No call. Leshley, centering kick, finds Ukamadu, but Ukamadu is swarmed. Ball is taken away by Smith. Kick into open space, and a player gets upended, but they say they got ball, and so it's taken by Washburn, passed back to Moore. Maddie Moore kicks it ahead, off the mark, out of bounds, goal kick. So again, Brookline bringing some early momentum, but they've got to keep this up throughout the half if they want to be the first ones on the board. No score here between 5th-seeded Newton South and 13th-seeded Brookline. Amanda Cosgrove, the Newton South keeper, with the goal kick here. Deflects right to Anna Leshley, but she lost control of it. Booted away by Frankie Toro and poked ahead. They find a target. This is Marceau. Marceau dribbling with it along the near side. Passes ahead. Finds number 7. 7, a centering kick. Intercepted by Sydney Freeze. Passed ahead to Vilena Chernychev. Chernychev's kick ahead finds Ukamadu. Ukamadu can't get around Haley Smith, and it's poked away. Taken by Bria Abiati. Abiati dribbling slowly. Now attempted pass. I think she was trying to lead for, I think, Maddie Genser. Not entirely sure, but either way lost out of bounds. This will be a goal kick. Brookline's been playing mostly very patient defense. Their backs have been, holding back, not aggressively going to the ball. They're not giving Newton South any opportunities to juke them out. This goal kick goes off a head and then off a foot. Chased down by, I believe, Abiati. Dribbling, now launches one. One hops into the arms of Anastopoulos. This one booted across midfield, aimed at Anna Leshley. Anna Leshley trying to dribble with it. She's being defended by Toro. Leshley trying to fight her way around the edge. And eventually it's poked out of bounds by Toro. Throw in for Ukamadu. Ukamadu backing down against Nadia Mustafa, but it's poked away. This one's kicked back. A deflection from Chernychev. Out of bounds. This will be a goal kick. Oh, I think they called a foul. Or did they? No, they didn't. It's a goal kick. We got a substitution is what's happening. Number 23, Frankie Toro, checks out in favor of what appears to be number 12, Amelia Everett. Cosgrove, the goal kick. Deflected down by Leshley, but chased down by Everett and booted away. And now wrestling for the ball. Newton South controls it, but the pass is booted away by Maddie Moore. Out of bounds, Lions ball. Throw in from Everett goes off ahead. And now Everett boots it high in the air. Freeze chasing after it. Freeze has the ball and simply boxes out. And it's out of bounds. Brookline ball. Wait, what? For some reason, the ball boy tossed it to Newton South, even though the official signaled in Brookline's direction. That was a bit of weird confusion, but either way, thrown in from Moore to Chernychev. Now back to Moore and booted into the air. Finds Hope Leshley, I believe. Or no, that was Washburn. Masood takes it and passes it. Now another pass over to the far side to Marceau. Marceau battling against Moore, and Moore pokes it out of bounds. Everett, the throw-in. And this one skips past everybody and out of bounds. I believe that was intended for, I think, number 7, Izzy Lanzillo. Might have been number 9. Might have been number 9, Maddie Lewis. Either way, goal kick for Anastopoulos. Off a head. Off another head. Kicked ahead by Newton South, and the Lions take control. Pass again to Marceau. Marceau dribbling. Looking for an opening, touches it over to a teammate, but too many defenders, and it's booted away. Eleanor Bergstein collects it, sends a pass ahead, finds Ukamadu. Ukamadu now dribbling with some space to work, bringing it up, surveying her options, pulls back, now lifts it up, trying to lead for Bergstein, but it's headed away. Loose ball is being fought for, scrummed for, And it looks like it's going to be taken by Washburn. Ansley Washburn tries to send one ahead, but too far. It really is turning into a battle of physicality versus finesse. Newton South has got some crisp passes and some fancy juke moves. Brookline just scrapping for the ball. Cosgrove with the goal kick goes off the head and is now being chased after, well boxed out by Haley Smith and booted away by Mustafa. They're bringing it up the far side. Surveying their options. Offsides call. Player couldn't believe it, but indeed the Brookline defense was disciplined in staying in front of her. Now a free kick from Wager. Wager boots this one high down the far side, and it's deflected out of bounds, I believe, off the head of Ertel. Throw in now for Brookline. Too many orange shirts in there. It's booted away. Skipping along. Hope Leshley takes it. Kicks it up the line. Skips past Bergstein. Taken by Smith and kicked ahead. Newton South now moving the ball. Leshley swoops in, deflects the ball, and wrestles it loose. And Washburn decides to just kick it out of bounds. Another throw in for Newton South. Goes up the line. Lost out of bounds, and they say Newton South ball. Throw in. Kick towards the middle. That was dangerous for a second, but Anastopoulos was right there. Punted, deflects off of Smith, scrum for the ball, and manages to get it away to Everett. Everett kicks it ahead and hits Marceau. Marceau taps it over. A bit of a give and go back to Marceau. Marceau launches one high, and a can of corn taken off the deflection by Anastopoulos. Now kicked ahead by Brookline. Anna Leshley now trying to kick one to lead for Ukamadou. It's a foot race to the ball. Ukamadou tried to swoop in, deflect it away. She does, but the defender was right there. Booted out of bounds. Amra Ukamadou forcing the issue there. Throw in goes to Chernychev. Her kick deflected out of bounds by Jessie Lee. Moore, another throw in for Anna Leshley. Leshley trying to get around the edge, trying to get around Everett. Centering kick from Leshley. Deflected away by Haley Smith and then booted out by Everett. Then kicked ahead by Marceau. Leshley trying to take it back but lost control. Marceau swoops in and takes it. Marceau passes it over to the middle. Now weaving her way through, gets past Wager. Now Marceau, a pass leading for nobody, out of bounds. Goal kick for Brookline. We are 10 minutes into the second half. Still no score. Juliana Anastopoulos simply decides to kick it for, I believe, Zoe Fagnan. Fagnan now launches one. Goes off ahead. Newton South takes it right back. Weaving through a defender. And now trying to pass it ahead. Tries the spin move, but Moore was waiting for that one, and she boots that ball upfield. Off the head of Mustafa. Kicked ahead by Everett. And now passed ahead for Marceau. Marceau passes looking for Genser. Genser's got it. Genser against Freeze. Genser runs out of time. Other defenders swoop in, and it's kicked away by Chernychev. Leshley gets bowled over but recovers, taking the ball up the near side. Her kick is deflected, taken by Mustafa, but stolen away by the double team of Leshley and Ukamadou. Ukamadou trying to weave her way through the hole. Mustafa comes in and kicks it away. Ukamadou fights for it back. Passes back to Chernychev. Chernychev launches this one into the air, goes off the head of Ertel, now off the head of Washburn, now off the head of Bergstein, off the foot of Smith, and now off the head of Hope Leshley. Leshley keeps it in bounds, dribbling around, finds some space, pass ahead to Washburn. Washburn sends it back off the mark and out of bounds. Miscommunication between her and Fagnan. Or that might be Seifert, hard to tell from the far side. Either way, Newton South with the ball, trying to dribble their way through. And again, the patience pays off as it's booted away. And now this one gets kicked upfield. Smith boots that one into the air. A couple deflections. Newton South winds up with it again. Pass over to Marceau. Marceau has it wrestled away by Moore. Moore's kick is deflected by Marceau. Luca Marceau trying to force the issue here and gets shoved to the ground by Moore. I believe this will be a free kick, and it will for Newton South. Big chance for them here in the 53rd minute. Free kicks have been lethal, as it will be Jesse Lee taking this free kick for the Lions. Lee signals. The kick, sailing in, caught by Anastopoulos. How did she see her way through that one as she punts it across the field? Deflected away by Ertel. Now kicked ahead by Washburn to Chernychev, I think. Or maybe that was Frankel. Either way, Chernychev kicks it ahead. Cut off by Newton South. And they reset. Trying to move the ball upfield. Down the far side. Too many defenders sandwiched, and the ball is taken away. Again, booted upfield. Trying to chase after it. Ball is lost, not lost out of bounds. It's kept in bounds, and Newton South kicks it away. Deflection, but booted away by Hope Leshley. Recovered, and now passed over to Everett along the near side. Everett dribbling with it, sends a pass ahead to Marceau. Marceau meets Moore, and another penalty call, another foul call, I believe, against Moore. And that's a yellow card against Maddie Moore. Moore was getting physical against Marceau, and just a little too many times. Clock frozen now with 26:17 here in the second half. As they register the yellow card, I presume they will start it once the action gets started, as Jesse Lee lines up for another free kick. A big gust of wind blows through. This could affect things. Now the clock begins. Lee signals. Kick towards the box. Caught out of the air by Anastopoulos. Punts it away. Ukamadi tries a touch pass back, but intercepted. And another penalty call against Brookline. This will be another free kick. This one coming from Nadia Mustafa. Mustafa signals, the ball blowing away from her, and she has to take it back because, of course, the wind has to affect everything. Mustafa launches this one. Deflected down and taken by Brookline. Anna Leshley dribbling through. Gets through one defender, loses the ball, but it goes right to Chernychev. Chernychev trying to lead for Ukamadu. It's a race to the ball. Who's going to get there first? It's Cosgrove who boots it away. Deflected and taken by Newton South. They kick it ahead, and it's booted away by Leshley into the air. Deflects back down once again. This time they managed to kick it ahead, but this time Freeze boots it away. Now getting around her defender, I think that's Genser, who passed it ahead. Nobody there. That's lost out of bounds. Throw in here. Kicked up the line, but out of bounds. This will be Newton South ball. We're in the 56th minute of regulation. No score. And I have to say regulation now because this is the playoffs. If we have no score, we're going to overtime. This ball kicked ahead and rolls out of bounds. Goal kick for Brookline. Anastopoulos lines up for another goal kick. Thrown in. Deflected back. And that's lost out of bounds. I think we might have some subs checking in. As we got a, we got a throw in for Newton South. That was a bit confusing. Scrum for the ball. Goes all the way back to Haley Smith. Kicked ahead, but stolen away by Brookline. I think that is Frankel. Frankel taps it back to, I believe, Fagnan. Now passed over. Wager almost lost control of it, but gets it back to Anastopoulos, who safely taps it over to Sydney Freeze. Freeze now passes over to Mila Seifert. Seifert has it poked away by Marceau. Marceau takes it away, trying to gain the edge along the near side, but loses it out of bounds. But now we got a sub checking in to stop the action for a tick. Eleanor Bergstein checks out in favor of Gianna Pentland. Throw in, being scrummed for, but ultimately taken by Newton South. Kicked ahead by Marceau. And I think they called a foul against Brookline. So another free kick for the Lions here in the 58th minute. Jessie Lee again launching the free kick. Anastopoulos has been grabbing everything out of the air so far. She's got such a good nose for the ball. But what's going to happen here? Lee signals the kick. Looking for a head. Deflects down and kicked out of the box. But right back to Lee. Lee launches it back into the box. Off ahead and wide. Booted into the air by Brookline and out of the box and out of bounds. The free kick chances have been numerous and dangerous for Newton South, but nothing has found the back of the net. This one booted back. Ultimately booted away by, I believe, Fagnan. Now they're trying to boot it back. Jessie Lee sent it up the line looking for Tess Fitzgerald. It's deflected out of bounds. Stays Newton South ball. Throw in here. Newton South trying to make something happen along the far side. Centering kick goes right into the arms of Anastopoulos. What a day she's been having so far. This one deflected down, gets to Anna Leshley. Leshley loses control of the ball, but kept alive by Brookline. I think this is Sari Frankel. Frankel passes ahead, looking for Chernychev. Chernychev with the ball. Now pass ahead for Leshley. Anna Leshley trying to fight her way through. Deflected out of bounds, and they're going to say off Brookline. Throw in to Marceau, kicked back to Everett, booted into the air, skips along, kept in bounds by Abbiati. Abbiati trying to get around, trying to find the edge against Freeze. Still dribbling, pass deflected, and Freeze boots it away. Now this one is headed out of bounds. That went out off the head of Jessie Lee. Quick throw in for Brookline. Bounces out of bounds. And Everett trying to figure out what is supposed to happen here. Throw in goes off the head of Marceau. And they whiffed on that header, but Abbiati takes it. kicks it towards the middle to Genser. Genser sends it over for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald trying to fight her way through, but boxed out kick from Wagers deflects the wrong way. Marceau trying to take it, deflects, and they're going to say goal kick. We are over halfway through the second half, still no score here. Anastopoulos boots this one, off a head, off another head. This one's kicked ahead by Newton South. Trying to bring it around, they gain the edge. Centering kick right into the arms of Anastopoulos. Punt from Anastopoulos. Deflected ahead, but right to the waiting feet of Nadia Mustafa. Passed ahead to Marceau. Marceau passes for Genser. Or no, Abiati. This is Abiati dribbling with the ball. Centering kick. Kicked away by Wager, but still in the box. Dangerous deflection. Freeze kicks it away, and now it's going to be kicked back and deflected. Still a dangerous chance. Kicked all the way back to Mustafa. Kicked into the air. Kicked away by Wager. Goes back. Smith boots it up in the air. Off the head of Seifert. Collected. Dangerous chance, but stolen away by Sydney Freeze and kicked out of bounds. Throw in here, deflects off ahead and kicked out of bounds. Everett throws in, couple deflections. And it stays Newton South ball. Another throw in, deflects out of bounds. This time it goes to Brookline. And now lost out of bounds back to Newton South. Marceau throws it in. And over everybody out of bounds, this will be a goal kick. 17 minutes left in regulation, still no score. Goal kick for Brookline just goes to Wager. Wager passes it over to Fagnan. Fagnan boots it in the air, deflects off ahead, being chased after. It's taken by Pentland. Pentland passes for Anna Leshley. Leshley takes it, sends it over to Ukamadou. Ukamadou tries to fight her way through, can't do it. But swooping in and taking this one, I think it's Sari Frankel, but it's booted out of bounds by the defense. Or no. No, they're saying it went on the back line. This is a corner kick for Brookline. Big chance for the Warriors, as I believe it is Zoe Fagnan coming along to launch this corner kick. There's the signal. Kick comes in. It's against the wind. Deflected wide. Didn't have enough air under that one. Not sure if the wind played a factor. But either way, this will now be a goal kick for Cosgrove. Now this one's deflected back, and I think we got a foul call. We got a push-off call against Brookline. Now Mustafa getting ready to take another free kick. This one booted into the air. It deflects. And it's chased down by Anna Leshley. Leshley, she's got Marceau pursuing her from behind, but she's still running with it. Finally cut off and knocked out of bounds by Everett. Throw in coming from Seifert. Goes to Pentland. Pentland turns around, passes, finds Frankel. Frankel dribbling around, tries to send a pass, deflected away, but finds Ukamadou. Ukamadou trying to come around the edge, poked away by Ertel. Ukamadou recovers it, trying to gain the edge again, loses the ball, and gets taken down in the process. Now kicked upfield and lost out of bounds by Newton South. This will be Brookline ball. Throw in. Goes to Ukamadu, who can't fight through her defender. Refs swallowing their whistles for both sides for the most part. There have been a number of foul calls against Brookline this half, but still a lot of calls that both teams have gotten away with. And this one is fought off. This is Fitzgerald trying to fight her way through multiple defenders. But again, the Brookline defense is relentless. They poke it away. Jessie Lee trying to take it. But it's being wrestled away. And finally, we got a foul call. This one against Newton South. That was Sari Frankel trying to take the ball away from Lee and managed to get enough good position that she drew the foul call. Wager with the free kick. Off ahead. And now booted high in the air. Now off another head, and that's going to be a Newton South ball. Thrown in down the line. Lions got some open space, a pass ahead for, I believe, Genser. She gets swarmed, ball's deflected away. Now pass over to Fitzgerald on the far side. Fitzgerald trying to work against Fagnan. Kick, one hops into the arms of Anastopoulos. This punt goes off the foot of Pentland. Poked away by Mustafa, but then poked back ahead to Pentland. Pentland sends a pass to Chernychev. Chernychev now launches a floater, being chased down by Ertel. Ertel just smartly kicks it out of bounds. Ukamadu was rushing in behind her. Or looks like we've got a timeout called. Clock frozen with 12 minutes, 33 seconds left here in regulation. I see in the live chat someone's asking if the cameraman could get a higher angle. I'll give it a try. I can't really move back, but I think there's a different camera setting here. I don't know how well that one looks. I think I'm going to stick with what I got. I mean, I'm in a press box right now, so can't exactly move back, unfortunately. But still, thank you for the feedback from Prolific Finish. "12 minutes and 33 seconds left in regulation. No score between the 5th-seeded Newton South High Lions and the 13th-seeded Brookline High Warriors. Brookline still trying to break through and get a good chance at the net. Newton South still trying to figure out how they can get past Juliana Anastopoulos and the defenders in front of her. Even after losing Maddie Moore to the yellow card, Brookline has a lot of depth at that fullback position, the wing backs, as they just brought in Mila Seifert, one of their senior co-captains who has really been played all over the field this season. Her versatility has been a big asset for the Warriors. They've played her at back, at mid, and at forward. And so this will be a throw-in for Brookline coming out of the timeout. Throw-in coming here. Deflects off ahead. They're scrumming for it a bit. And ultimately, numbers one out as that ball is kicked away. And it bounces out of bounds. Brookline ball. Quick throw in to Frankel. Frankel tries to pass back, but it's fought away. And now Newton South trying to work up the far side. Hope Leshley trying to poke that one away. I believe this is Tess Fitzgerald who keeps control of it, passes it back to, I think, Genser. Passed ahead. Now a couple of touches. Trying to send it to the far side, launches one, and a diving save by Anastopoulos, lost the ball. It's kicked away, launched, stopped. Another huge defensive stand for Brookline. And now we've got yet another free kick for Newton South, this one of the corner variety. So this will be Jesse Lee bringing the corner kick for the Lions. 11 minutes, 20 seconds left in regulation as Newton South trying to get the first score on the board. This one comes into the air. Off ahead. That one's in. Newton South finally cracks the scoreboard off a header goal from a corner kick. I couldn't quite see whose head it was. Based on who's celebrating, though, I think I can guess, and it looks like, I think that's number 24, Maddie Genser. Hard to tell, everybody's swarming her. We'll see where she goes back to. That might actually be Mustafa. It looks like Anastopoulos might be hurt. Anastopoulos was racing hard to reach that header, and she kind of collided with the pole there. (1-0) now the score in favor of Newton South. 11 minutes and 7 seconds left on the clock. Newton South now just the third team to score against Brookline this season. And for Brookline, they've not done well when unable to shut out their opponents. I mean, you have to still give a world of credit to the Brookline defense, the number of big stops they made, including the one just before that corner kick. Anastopoulos up but limping. The senior co-captain, you know she doesn't want to come off the field. This could very well be the last game of her high school career, and what a game it's been. Ignore the scoreboard for a second. She's had a phenomenal game, and it looks like she's trying to walk it off. The valiant efforts of Anastopoulos. But meanwhile, the lead for Newton South, I think it was Mustafa who scored that one. As this pass goes back to Hope Leshley. Leshley kicks it ahead. It's kicked back. And now passed over for Genser, but swooping in and booting it away is Maddie Moore. Mustafa chases this one down and boots it upfield. Downed by Moore, but now a loose ball is taken by Moore. Moore dribbling with some space. Pass ahead, missed the mark. And now booted all the way back to a visibly hobbled Anastopoulos. Anastopoulos punts this one. And it's tapped over. Newton South trying to take control. Leshley swoops in, tries to take it away, but they stay with it. Pass out to the far side. Now a pass goes ahead. Trying to work around the far edge. Fights off a bit of a trip. And it's deflected out of bounds, and they're going to say Newton South ball deep in the Brookline end here. 10 minutes. 10 minutes left in this one. Newton South 1, Brookline 0. Throw in here. Couple passes back and forth. No, there's a delayed offsides call against Newton South as about 5 Brookline players raised their arms looking for the call. Now Wager lining up to take this free kick. Or no, swapping out for Fagnan. And are they moving Wager up to the forward position? As this one immediately intercepted by Newton South. Lost out of bounds. It'll be Brookline ball again as we got some subs checking in for the Warriors. Alex Levy among the players checking out. Velena Chernychev amongst those checking in, along with, I think, Eleanor Bergstein. Throw in for Brookline. Kicked away. And out of bounds, this will be a goal kick. Anastopoulos with a rushed goal kick off the head of a Lions player. Another deflection. Controlled for a second by Brookline, but stolen away by Newton South. Now dribbling up the far side. Kick towards the center. Finds a target. Genser taps it back. Now a launch shot saved by Anastopoulos. Anastopoulos punts this one towards midfield. Bounces past her target. Bounces past a couple, but then taken by Ukamadu. Amra Ukamadu trying to gain the edge. Gets the deflection out of bounds. Brookline keeps the ball. Less than 8 minutes now. Brookline trailing by 1, and throw-in was kind of rushed there. We toss it back to, I think, Seifert, who throws it in. Brookline's got almost all of their players down on the offensive end. Centering kick! Off ahead and into the air, but that's not going to go anywhere. Whiffed on the clearing kick, and that's going to be out of bounds. Quick throw in. Leshley, centering kick, deflects, dangerous. Ukamadu has the ball poked away, launched by Leshley, but she whiffs on it, and it's deflected away. Newton South with the ball, the kick deflected. Kick deflected again. This kick gets through. Leading their only offensive player, this might be a 2-on-1. Passes to a wide open, Genser, shots! It's in! That one might be the dagger. Maddie Genser was all alone. Brookline brought the aggressive formation, and it did not pay off. 2-0 now the score in favor of Newton South. 6:56 left on the clock. And we've got a timeout called, presumably by Brookline. A tough situation Brookline is now in. I mean, credit to their defense for standing as valiantly as they have, but also some credit to the Newton South offense. I mean, they faced frustrating stop after frustrating stop, and ultimately they finally got a bounce that they liked that got them the goal, and then they managed to clear the ball and work on the counterattack as Brookline got over-aggressive trying to get that equalizer. And some nice, easy teamwork, an unselfish extra pass, and a nice shot by Genser just off the outstretched fingertips of Anastopoulos. Makes it 2-0. Again, 6 minutes and 56 seconds left here in this one. The winner goes on to the Final Four to face top-seeded Hingham High School. If the score remains the same, this would be just the 4th time all season that Brookline went without a goal. A huge improvement from their offensive output last season, owed to some, big arrivals from the underclassmen. That shows a lot of promise for next season, but for right now, still focused on this season. There are still 6 minutes and 56 seconds left for Brookline to try and save their season. Big kick from Gianna Pentland, launched towards the box, and it just bounces into the arms of Cosgrove. Cosgrove looking around, taking her time, punts it towards midfield, bounces over everybody. Now a foot race to the ball. Freeze gets to it first, taps it back to Anastopoulos, who slices it into the air and out of bounds. The pressure was coming from Luca Marceau. Now Everett bringing the throw in. Goes over everybody and out of bounds. Instant goal kick for Brookline. And it allows Newton South to pack their defensive formation as they try and maintain this lead. Anastopoulos quickly bringing the goal kick. Brookline knows they're operating on very little time. No handball on that call, booted away by Everett. Downed and taken by Hope Leshley. Leshley fakes the kick, starts dribbling, now launches a pass ahead, and off the mark, too far for Maddie Moore to collect. Throw in now is kicked ahead nicely by Marceau. Freeze just watching it roll out. Throw in, off ahead, and now booted by Freeze. Booted back by Everett. And this one's going to go all the way back for another goal kick. 5 minutes to go. And another goal kick from Anastopoulos. Up into the air, off ahead. And bounced too high. They couldn't get another deflection. Booted away by Newton South. Brookline trying to get some deflections. They get it back to Freeze. Freeze kicks it up. Intercepted by Genser. She's got 1 goal already. And Moore kicks it out of bounds. Throw in for Newton South. 5 minutes left. We're in stoppage time. Throw in. And lost out of bounds. Brookline ball. Throw in. Deflected and kicked out of bounds. They say Newton South ball. Thrown into Marceau. Marceau keeps the ball in bounds. Now just operating the corner strategy as it's kicked out of bounds. Newton South ball, another throw in. Throw in, and I think that was a throw-in violation, and so it goes back to Brookline. Brookline trying to keep the ball moving, but they lost it out of bounds again. Another throw-in from Everett. This time it goes to Genser, deflects back to Lee. Lee passes ahead to Genser, stolen away and deflected over to Chernychev. Chernychev launches a kick ahead, finds Wager. Wager's kick deflects off a defender, heading towards the box. Smith comes in and boots it away. Racing in and kicking it is Moore, but it goes right to a Newton South player and is booted away. I believe that was Mustafa. Throw in, goes to Fagnan, deflected away. Back to Freeze, kicked over for Anastopoulos. Anastopoulos kicks it ahead and out of bounds. And we got a substitution coming in. Checking out for Newton South is Everett. Checking in now is Toro. It's taken and booted ahead by Fagnan, but booted right back by Mustafa. And now wrestling for the ball. It looks like it's taken by Brookline. Seifert kicks it ahead, trying to lead one of her teammates, racing after it, kicked away and out of bounds. Throw in. Now a kick towards the middle. Dangerous, but they couldn't collect it. Goes back, floating shot. Oh, hard to collision with the goalie, and they're going to call that one. That might have been Brookline's last best chance. That was Maddie Moore, who collided hard with the keeper. Both keepers have been put through the ringer now this game, as Amanda Cosgrove is now down. Has a trainer coming in to look at her. Cosgrove hasn't been challenged as much as Anastopoulos this game, as Newton South has put together a much more consistent threat to the net. And the result shows on the scoreboard. But still, that was a big catch by Cosgrove to keep it a 2-goal game. Still here in stoppage time. Hard to say how much time is left here in this one, and Newton South holds a 2-goal lead. Cosgrove gets up under her own power, and it looks like she's going to keep going. Free kick off of the foul. There's the signal. Kick is launched. Skips past everybody. Marceau can't keep it in bounds. This will be a throw-in for Brookline. Deflected down. Kick deflects. It's going to be taken by Anastopoulos. She scoops it up and boots this one towards midfield. Taken by Moore. Moore trying to work her way around. Kicked ahead, deflected. And it's going to go and be taken by Marceau, deflected out of bounds by Moore. This will be another throw-in for Newton South. Toro getting ready to throw this one in. Moore comes around and kicks it. Now it's being scrummed for. Hope Leshley boots it. Now Anna Leshley boots it. Now a race to the ball. It's kicked away. Fought back by Chernychev, and Ukamadu now dribbling with the ball. Amra Ukamadu launches one, and it skips wide. Cosgrove had it pretty well covered anyway. A goal kick now for Newton South. Cosgrove boots this one in the air. It's headed down by Wager, and now Wager takes this one and launches one into the air. One hops, taken by Cosgrove. Cosgrove directing traffic. Punts this one in the air. Off the head of Fagnan and out of bounds. Newton South ball. Genser throws this one in. And there's the triple whistle. Your final score here at Newton South High School in Newton, Massachusetts. The Newton South High Lions 2, the Brookline High Warriors 0. A tough finish for the Brookline High Warriors, but what a run it was. The 13th seeded team made it all the way to the Elite Eight, surpassing expectations that were placed on them on paper at the start of the postseason. after frankly what was an incredible regular season. Very impressive efforts all around. A lot for this team to be excited about, but also plenty of tough goodbyes to be had. Once again, Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, it's been my privilege to have covered a number of games for this Brookline High girls soccer team this season. It's been a wonderful season to cover. I've had so much fun, and I hope you guys have enjoyed watching and following along this team as well. Once again, if you enjoyed the broadcast, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments in the comment section. But enough self-promotion for now. Going to give one last send-off to the senior class of 2022 for Brookline High, as this marks the final game of their high school careers in girls soccer. First off, number 5, Ansley Washburn. Starting midi through most of the season. She finished the regular season with 1 assist on the year, but was very effective in being used in the transition game. Brookline will certainly miss her. Next on the list is number 14, looks like, oh, it looks like we've got a trophy presentation for Newton South, as the Final Four trophy is given to Newton South. Well earned off a 2-0 victory for the 5th-seeded Lions. But continuing with sending off the senior class for Brookline High. Next up, number 14, Kellen McNamara, suffered an injury early, and you would often see her in team pictures on crutches, but she stuck with the team, and certainly wish her a speedy recovery, perhaps in time to be seen in the winter or spring seasons. Wish her the best for sure. Next up, number 16, Kendall Freeze. Freeze operated as more of a depth piece on the offense, but still came through with some memorable scores. She got the game winner in the season opener at Needham, and came through with the 4th and final score in the onslaught on senior day against Milton, the only senior to score a goal that day. So plenty of highlights to be remembered from Kendall Freeze. She will be missed as well. Next up, number 17, Nilufar Dadgar. She didn't see much playing time this season, but again, always a part of the team, always showing up. Took advantage of the advanced playing time she got on senior day. Brookline will miss her as well. Next up, number 20, Liv Ernst. Ernst was operated mostly as a backup midi, but, you know, depth was one of the big strengths of this Brookline team, so you really can't undervalue that just because a player wasn't a starter. You know, Ernst, again, did a lot of good things in the midfield, maybe nothing that winds up on the stat sheet, but still a valuable asset to the team. And finally, we wrap up by talking about the co-captains. First off, number 3, Hope Leshley. Leshley was everywhere. I was saying her name constantly in about every game I covered. A fantastic asset in the midfield. She used not only her good instincts to the ball, but also her great size and physical power to be able to wrestle a lot of 50-50 balls away from opponents. She's going to be a big hole that Brookline's going to need to fill in the midfield. Not a lot of players have the kind of skill that she has, and it'll be interesting to see what they do in that position going forward, but also going to be sorely missed as a big presence in the midfield for Brookline and as a co-captain. Next up, number 4, Zoe Fagnan. Fagnan was a fantastic fullback or wingback, however you want to call those positions. She worked really well on the defensive end, sort of moving back after mostly playing midi last season, made a seamless transition, and even got some nice recorded stats. She was an effective corner kick kicker, and finished the regular season with 3 assists and had 1 assist in the postseason off of course, a corner kick. And I forgot to mention during the regular season. Hope Leshley had 1 goal on her stat sheet as well. Just because with some of these players, their value extends beyond the stat sheet. But of course, Zoe Fagnan, again, leadership presence and a strong defensive presence that will be missed, as she was a key member of a defensive unit that, again, allowed just 6 goals all year along both the regulars and postseason. Next up, number 7, Mila Seifert. I talked about it a little during the game, but her versatility was a huge asset for Brookline. A lot of times she played off the bench, but she could be really inserted at any level, and that was a big piece of depth for Brookline. Primarily, she was played at the wing-back position, and so she was a big part of that defensive unit that, again, was so huge for Brookline throughout this season. It was a big part of why they came to where they finished here today. And then rounding it out, the final co-captain, the last senior on the roster for Brookline, the goalkeeper, Juliana Anastopoulos. You know, it's a shame that the stat sheet is really only going to show that she gave up 2 goals. You know, granted, they'll have save numbers, but my goodness, what an effort she gave today. I mean, a lot of times, I feel like Anastopoulos' value has kind of gone unnoticed this year just because the backs in front of her have played so effectively, and because a lot of times she has such good instincts to the ball that her saves look effortless. But they weren't effortless. She put a lot of effort into every stop she made, and you could really see that she had that next level, that she had those highlight-worthy stops within her when faced with a top-tier opponent like Newton South. She made a lot of fantastic stops today. Don't let the 2 goals allowed take away from the amazing efforts and grit and toughness she showed today, particularly after that first goal when she collided with the pole. She still did not stop, would not stop. And while there is a fantastic backup keeper waiting in the wings to take over next season, and while there are plenty of young players that have stepped up in such a big way this year for Brookline, it's important to remember the seniors that provided that veteran leadership and, you know, really sort of set the tone for the rest of this team to get to where they are. You know, this team should be proud of the season they had. It was a good it was a great season. I mean, last year they had a below 500 record. Offense couldn't really put anything together. They were competitive but couldn't string those wins together. Today, this year, they took a big step forward, produced a fantastic winning record, and made a great playoff run. Like I said, it's been a privilege to cover. But for the last time, I'm going to wrap things up. Just a little bit of self-promotion before I go. If you want to know more about me, the services I provide, and how you can commission those services, visit my website at jessesports.com. You can also follow me on social media. Links to my Facebook and Instagram are in the description, as is my email address if you would like to reach out to me directly to get your favorite team covered, or if you'd like any highlight videos put together for either your favorite team, maybe to celebrate the season, or for one of your favorite players, you know, whether for celebratory purposes or recruiting purposes. Those are services that I offer. But for the last time, from Newton South High School in Newton, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for a great season. My hat's off to all the players and coaches for Brookline High Girls Soccer. Best of luck to Newton South as they move on to the Final Four. Thank you all for watching throughout this season, and have a great rest of your weekend.